or not? Yes. So at that time, in which environment you deployed, in which environment you installed, you should configure that server in what? AHGA.py, and one more is what? WHGA.py. Right? Then after that, there is one more module is there. What is the name of the module is? Settings.py. This is very important. Settings.py. Settings.py. Okay, this module is used for configuring the project. This is called as project configuration module. This is called which module? Project configuration module. Okay. Settings.py. Settings.py. Online students. Yes. Online students. Are you there? Online students. Yes. Very good. Okay. Online students. Right. Okay. So there is a settings.py. Settings.py is called project configuration module. Project configuration. Project configuration module, or you call it as a file, as a project configuration module, or it is a file. And this module, see, all this will be executed automatically. Whatever modules are there inside which one? Project folder, all these modules get executed automatically. You don't require to run this. But how it execute, I'll tell you. Now this is settings.py is called as a project configuration module or file. It is used for configuring, it is used for, it is used, it is used for configuring. What you are configuring the following, or configuration of the following components. Following components. What is that? Database configuration. Database configuration. Now your project required a database, right? Every project you develop it required what? A database. Why use a database? To store the data permanently. Why use a database? For storing data permanently, right? So which database are using it? Which database are using it? That configuration you do in what? Settings.py. So is it this is related to one application or all the applications? All the applications. This configuration, what you're doing at which level? Project level. Project level. See here. Inside this settings.py, you find lot of things. See here. What is the name of this variable? See here. What is the name? This is which program? Array, this is which program? Python program. .py means which program? Python program. So don't think that it is something else. All these are which programs? Python programs only. And these programs are get created automatically or not? Yes. What is the name of the variable? Installed apps. Is it this is one list or not? Yes. So what is the name of the variable? Middleware. It is also one list. What is the name of this variable? Templates. It is also one list, and it contain what? Dictionary. What dictionary contain? Key and values. What dictionary is having key and values? Now, there is one more variable. What is the name of this variable? Databases. Is it databases is again dictionary or not? Yes. What dictionary is having? Key and value. Now, I said configuration of database. By default, your project is configured with which database? SQLite. SQLite. Now you want to use MySQL. Then you configure which database? MySQL. You want to use Oracle. Then you configure which database? Oracle database. Correct or not? You configure Oracle database. You configure SQLite database. You configure different databases where you configure in settings.py, and you develop application. You develop yes, you understood database configuration, where you are doing database configuration in settings.py, where you are doing database configuration in a settings.py. Not only that, it is used for installing, configuring which one? Applications. Means installing which one? Application. Installing. Generally, where you install the application? Who will execute your application? Server. Who will execute your application? Server. Now, which application you want to install within the server? Because you develop a project contains so many applications. Which applications you want to install in the server? That configuration you do in what? Settings.py. So deploying is nothing but installing. What you are installing in the server? Application. Which application you want to install within the server? That list of applications, that list of applications you define in settings.py. That list of applications you define in settings.py. Just open this. Now here you find installed apps. What is the name of the variable is installed apps. All these are applications, but these are your applications are predefined. Whenever you create a project, your design of project is created with some predefined application. I said it will provide an application called admin application, by using which you can manage the models, create the users, create the groups. All this done by using which application? Admin. It is providing a predefined application called which one? Authentication and authorization. It is providing a predefined application called content types. It is providing a predefined application called sessions. It is providing a predefined application called messages, as well as what? Static files. As well as what here? Static files. But is it these are your applications or inbuilt applications? Inbuilt applications. But here you also define your application. What is your application now? Application 1. Application 1. Now these are which applications? Predefined. And this is which application? User defined. Means you are installing your application into what? Server. You are installing your application into what? Server, so that the client can access your application resources. The client can access which resources? Application resources. Until unless you don't install it, is it your application is available to the client? No. Until unless you don't install it, your application is not available to the client. Not available to the client. Okay. 52. What is there in 52? It is blank. What is there in 52 here? Nagish? 52 is what is there in 52? It is a blank only, right? 53, okay. Okay, root URL configuration project 2 dot URLs. We'll discuss this. Don't worry. Everything you learn here, what is a secret key is, and what is a debug is, what is allowed host is, what is install apps is, what is middleware is, what is root, what is a templates is, what is WSGA application is, what is database, everything you learn. Don't worry. Okay, right? Yes. Then it is used for installing what? Applications. And not only that, configuration of configuration of configuration of configuration of which one? Templates. Template is nothing but HTML. And you need to tell configuration of templates is nothing but you need to tell where your templates are available. Your server will search for the templates are nothing but HTML. You learn this, don't worry. everything you learn in detail. But I'm just telling you what is the use of settings.py. It is used for configuration of the project. You are configuring the project. What what type of configurations you do it? Database configuration, installing the applications, configuration of what? Templates and configuration configuration of static resources, static files. Static files are nothing but what are the static files? CSS. Okay, CSS, these are called as which resources? Static resources, CSS, and what is that? Images, audio, and video. All this comes under which resources? Static resources and configuration of media files. Configuration of media files, and this is used when you're trying to do uploading, or what is that? Downloading. Whenever you are uploading or downloading, in which location you want to upload the files, in which locations you want to download the files, that also you define in settings.py. Not only that, it is used for configuration of configuration of what? Middlewares. It is used even for configuration of what? Middleware is a program. What is a middleware? Is a program which acts as a mediator between what do you call it as a request and the view. And means before sending the request to the view, what operation you want to do it, that you do in which one? Middleware. You develop middlewares, you work with media files, you work with the static files, you work with the templates, you work with database, you work with how to install the applications. Everything you'll see practically. Everything you'll see what? Practically. Understood? Right? So this is very, very important. Which one? Settings.py. Then next one is, next very important program is urls.py. urls.py. Py means don't think that something else. It is a Python program. It is a Python program and you are using for a specific purpose, right? URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It means you are trying to access the resource from the server using one name, address. Okay, it is nothing but address or not? Yes, it is an address. If you don't know the address, you want to meet your friend, then you should know the address or not? Yes, you should know friend name and you should know the address. You want to meet your friend, you should know the name of the friend as well as address. You know the name, you don't know address. Can you meet her? No. Here also, URL is nothing but uniform resource location, means where your resources are available, and how to access the resources, that you define it in urls.py. Now, whatever programs you are writing in Django, all these programs are which programs? Server side programs. All these are which programs? Server side programs. Then how these programs accessed by the client? How these programs are accessed by the client with some names or not? Yes, and that names you call it as what? URL. Now suppose the client want to call the view. How client call the view? Because view is a server side program. Then how client will call the Python program which is there at server side? It should call it with some name or not? Yes. What is that name is? URL. What is that name is? URL. Without defining URLs, the client cannot call which program? Server side program. Suppose configuration means what? What is the meaning of configuring? What is the meaning of configuration here? Yes, very basic question. Huh? You purchase mobile. What do you do next? What do you do next? Configure, configure. You set the date, you set the time, you set the language, setup language. You do all the things or not? Yes, that is called what? That is called as what? Configuration. That is called as what? Configuration. Configuration. Ashish. Narayan. Ashish bhai. Yes, Ashish. Configuration means, that is what you mean by configuration. Means your project is using which database? Your project is using which database? How you configure? Where you define the details? Where you define the details of that database? Where you define the details of that database in what? Settings.py. Settings. Name itself is what? Settings. Suppose I want to change the desktop background. Settings. Settings, huh? What here? What do you do it? Settings. Desktop background. What will I do? Settings. I want to increase the resolution. Settings. Yes or no? YouTube settings. And all settings you'll have. Huh? You have a television in your home, right? Huh? You do settings, huh? Yes, no. Yes. So settings contain all configurations, right? What do you want to do it? That complete project flow, project related things, you write inside what? Settings.py. Okay, right here. So URLs are there. URLs.py, and this URLs stands for Uniform Resource Location. So that is what here. Simple things, configuration. Okay, right? If I am telling you tailoring devices to our requirements, Katham, what is tailoring? What is requirements? So configuration is a simple term. Then I should not expand that. Yes or no? Okay, the name itself is what? What is the name of the module itself? Settings. Project settings. What is the meaning of this project? Settings. What settings? Database settings. Yes or no? Suppose, hmm, you know Python, huh? Python, you know it, right? Because you people are very good in Python. All are tops. Huh? So what do you do it? I want to communicate with the database. What do you do it? What required? Database details. And database details are nothing but configuring. You have to create a connection. Yes or no? Right? Yes. So that you generally call it as configuration, or the same thing is called as settings.py. Right? URLs.py. Right? URLs.py. URL. URL stands for uniform. Uniform resource. Uniform resource. Locator, location, uh, location, locator. Okay, uniform resource locator, right? What it contain? Generally, what is it? Address. URL is nothing but what? Address. Is nothing but is nothing but it is nothing but what here? Address. It is nothing but address. Means always a client, always a client access what here? Resources. Client access resources using what? URL. Using what? URL. If you don't know URL, can you access the resources? No. You cannot access the resources. What URL consists of? URL consists of protocol. What it is contain? Protocol. By using which protocol you send or you communicate. You communicate with what? Server. You'll say no, like in browser. In the browser, you'll say HTTP. What you are writing? HTTP. What is HTTP stands for? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Means you are communicating with the server. You are exchanging the data with the server by using which protocol? HTTP protocol, right? It is having a protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, right? That is widely used protocol in what? Internet. That is widely used protocol in what? Internet. Then after protocol, next is what? What is the next one is? IP address. Means where your server is running. Where your server is running. Okay. IP address. You required an IP address. Okay. So then next one is in the server. In the server, your program is identified with some number. Your project is identified with some number. Your project is run with one number. What is that number is? Port number. This is nothing but server. Yes, generally you call it a server port number. Okay. Yes. Then after that, what name? Application path. It is having an application path. And next one is what? Resource. Application path as well as what? Resource. You write like this: HTTP // local host. You'll raise some 8,000 slash. Okay, application one slash what is the name of this is login. What is HTTP protocol? What is localhost? IP address or host name. You can call this as an IP address or it is called as what? Host name. And what is 8000 is port number. What is APP1 is application path. And what is login is resource. What is a login here is resource. Okay. So this generally you call it as which one? URL. So server side programs, server side programs are accessed. Server side programs are accessed by client using okay public names, and these names are configured. These names are configured inside what? URLs dot py. Server side programs are accessed by client using public names. Public names. These names are public. Okay, but whatever programs you write in the server, those programs are private. Okay, then how they call those programs from browser by using one public name. That is mapping, URL mapping. URLs.py is used for URL mapping. It means server side program is mapped with one name. And that name mapping is done in what? URLs.py. Okay, urls.py. Again, I'm writing one more. urls.py is used for, okay, URL mapping. URL mapping is nothing but mapping. Mapping means what is the meaning of mapping? Linking. Okay, accessing, mapping. Suppose you'll say, no, A mapped with what? Apple. Whenever I want to call Apple, I'll say what? A. Apple is there in server side. I want to call it. Then how can I call it? By using A. So that is called as mapping. Is nothing but assigning public names. Is nothing but assigning public names to which program? Server side what? Program. And what is that side program is? View. What is that server side program is? View, right? So configuration or that settings you do in what? URLs dot py. urls.py, actually it is called URL configuration module. URL configuration module. Did I written somewhere? Right? urls.py. urls.py is called which file? URLs configuration. URLs configuration what? Module or URL configuration file. URL configuration module or URL configuration file. Is it clear this one? Understood or not? So what is the use of settings.py? It is for doing which operations? Project configuration. What settings you can do? Database settings, installed applications, configuring templates, configuring starting files, configuring media files, configuring what? Middlewares. All this you do in what? Settings.py, and urls.py is called as URL configuration modular file. It is used for mapping. What you are mapping? What you are mapping? URL mapping means assigning which names? Public names to which program? Server side program. That you call it as what? URL mapping. So these operations you are doing in what? urls.py. Is it this is clear, right? Okay. So one is settings and one more is what? URLs. Okay. Mm, mm, yes. Then next we'll see how to write, how to develop our first application. Okay. Yes. Already we created a project or not? Yes. We already created one project. We already created one project. Inside the project, you have an application folder and you have which folder? Project folder, right? Application folder and project folder. Just open which folder? Application folder. And inside this, you have one module. What is the name of the module? Views.py. Getting or not, right? So first, what I'm talking about is this is very, very important. What is the name of this is? Views. You call these are what here? Views. Views. Okay. What is a view? They ask you, what is a view? A view is nothing but which program? Python program. View is a Python program. Okay. And what is the responsibility of Vue? Taking the input, processing it, and generating output. Who's giving input? Client. How client to give the input using HTML? HTML is what? Front end. Vue is what? Back end. So web application is a combination of both front end and back end. But here template get executed at server side and the output is given to whom? Client. Output is given to the client. So please try to understand what is a view. It is very, very important. Whenever you attend any Django interview, compulsory they ask you, what is view? What is view in Django? What is view in Django? Okay. So view, now you can see in Django, a view, now a view is a function or a class. A view is a function or what? Class that receives a web request and return web response like HTML page, a redirect or an error. It is a core logic handler in Django what? MVT, model view template architecture, and it acts as a bridge between models and what? User interface. What is this user interface is called a template. What is this model user interface is called? Template. Okay. Yes. What is the key responsibilities? Process the request and business logic and generate what? Response. It means without view, without view, You cannot develop web application in what? Django. Anything you want to write it, you should write inside what? View. So view is like a main program. Okay, it is an entry point or it is a main program of your web application. It is a main program. Suppose if you work with the C, your program execution starts from where? Main. Inside the main, you write input, process, and output. But in web application development, now where you are writing input, process, and output in view, where you are writing in views. Okay. So view is a Python program. View is a Python program which which receives what? Input. Input is nothing but request. Which receive the input. Input is nothing but request and comma, process it, and generate what here? Output. And this output is nothing but what here? Response. Correct or not? So view, so view, so view perform the following what? Operations. What is the first one is? Receive. What it receives here? A request. This is called as which request? Generally, it is called as which request? HTTP request. It is called which request? HTTP request. And after receiving the request, what will it do? Process it. Process. What request contain? Generally, what is a request? A receive request means input. Input is nothing but, or input is nothing but what? Data. And process it, process it, process it means apply. Apply what? Some business? Apply some business logic. Process it means nothing but apply some business logic and generate. And generate which one? Response. Response is what here? HTTP response. Generate the response. HTTP response, and this response is what? Output. But output is generated in which form? HTML. Output is generated in which form? HTML. It may generate an output in HTML. It may generate the output in what? JSON. It may generate the output in different. Okay, generate the output in different formats. It may generate the output in different formats. It may generate the output in PDF. It may generate the output in doc. It may generate the output as an image. It may generate the output as what? Audio or video. It may generate the output in different formats. But who's doing all this? Or who's doing all this? View. Who's doing all this? View. So anything you want to write in application, you should write inside what? View. View, okay, acts as a view acts as a controller. I said already, view acts as a controller which control, which control the flow of, which control the flow of execution of, control the flow of execution of program. View acts as a controller which control the flow of execution of program. Means communicate with, view communicate with, view communicate with templates. Templates are nothing but what? HTML and which one? Model. Model is nothing but what here? Database for generating, for processing and generating, for processing, for processing and generating which one? Output. For processing and generating the output. So view communicates with the templates and model for processing and generating what? Output, right? So it acts like a bridge here. It acts like a bridge here, right? So then how to develop a view? Then how to develop a view? How to develop view? So you are developing a view. A view represent, you can develop a view by writing a function. You can develop a view by writing what? Class. You can develop a view by writing a function. You can develop a view by writing what? Class. So there are two types of views. One is function based views and one more is what? Class based views. One is function based views and one more is a class based views. So views are developed in two ways. One is two types of views, or I'm writing two types of views. One is function based views and second one is class based views. This is using procedural oriented programming and this is using what? Object oriented programming. This is using procedural oriented programming and this is using what? Object oriented programming. How many types of views are there? Two types. One is function based, one more is class based. What is a view? Is a function or class? A function or class that will receive input and process it and generate the output. So I can write one more definition. A view is a function. A view is a function or a class. A function or a class which receives what here? HTTP request and process it and process it and generate which one? HTTP response. And here response is nothing but output. Response is nothing but output, right? So first we'll see function based views. First we'll see function based views. Yes. Is it clear this one? Or you understood? Any questions you want to ask? No? Any questions out there? Understood up to this? Okay, what is a view? View is a function or class. What is the responsibility of view? Receiving the input and processing it and generating the output. But it will generate the output in which format? HTML, JSON, or different formats. Okay, right. Then function based views. Okay, but where you write the views in views.py. Okay, views are defined, views are developed, or views are written inside. Views are written inside. Views are written inside. Which module? Views.py. Where you write the views in views.py. You write inside a views.py, right? So function based views. Function based views. What are the basic steps for defining function based views? Function based views. First step is open. What is that module? Views.py. So define, define a function. How you write a function? Def. How you write a function using which keyword? Def. Def is a keyword, right? Def is a keyword for writing function. You write a function by using which keyword? Def keyword. Def. Okay. With okay, define function with one required. Define a function with one required, one required what? Argument. One required argument. What is that required argument is? A request. What is that required argument is? A request. And compulsory view should generate what? Output. Input, process, output. Okay, output, input, process, and output. Right? So define a function with one required argument. With one required argument. What is that required argument is? A request. So after developing the view, then how this view is accessed? How this view is accessed by the client? By using one name. And what is that name is? URL. What is that? URL. What is the third step is? Configure. Configure this view. Configure view inside what? URLs dot py. Until unless you don't map it, until unless you don't assign a public name, you cannot call this view from browser. You cannot call this view from browser. Okay, until unless you don't give which name? Public name. But how you are giving a public name and URLs dot py, right? Yes. Now let me tell you this. Project creation you completed a follow your all of you created project. No, yes, sir. So do it from beginning here. Don't do it after completing Python. After completing Django, if you start practicing, you don't get anything. Okay. Okay. So don't do that mistake again here. Anyway, Python is over. Python is gone. Now Django, దీనంతా కూడా చూస్తారు మీరు ఇక. Okay. Yes or no? Huh? Yes. So you have to practice. If you don't practice, very difficult. If you don't practice, it is very, very difficult because there only one program. But here, how many programs? So many programs. So many programs you have to write it. So many places you have to do changes. Configuration means that only. Okay, right? So if you practice from day one onwards, everything will become easy. Otherwise, same thing. Okay, right? Right. Now, already created project or not? Yes. So again, shall I tell you again how to create project? बोलो यार, वरना बोलो तो बोल तुम नहीं तो नहीं. You want again how to create project? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, yes, sir. VS Code you installed? Yes or no? Yes. Very good. From where you install VS Code? From where you install VS Code? Don't say internet. VS Code from where you install from? VS Code belongs to whom? VS Code belongs to whom? VS Code belongs to whom? Microsoft here. Microsoft. Yes or no? No. Yes sir. No. VS Code belongs to whom? Microsoft. Means you have not installed. Installed or not installed? पर कहाँ से इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं? माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ही है ना. है. खाली सर्च करना, खत्म, डाल देना. किधर से है, कहाँ पे है, कुछ नहीं, नहीं मालूम. हाँ. सही है नहीं? अब पूछता हूँ ना, VS Code belongs to whom? I know VS Code, but VS Code belongs to whom? Microsoft. PyCharm belongs to whom? PyCharm belongs to whom? JetBrains. JetBrains. PyCharm belongs to whom? JetBrains. Yes or no? Ideally belongs to whom? Python. Ideally belongs to Python. Google Colab belongs to whom? Google. Google only, right? It is a website. So you should know that, right? No problem. But anyway, आप तो महान लोग हैं. हाँ? Yes. So I just delete all these projects. Deleted. Now somebody is asking init.py. When it comes to that, I'll tell you. But otherwise, you already learn in your Python classes what is init.py, right? Already you learn in your Python regular classes what is init.py, right? It makes a folder as a package. That's all. Not more than that. Yes, lot of things are there. Constructor. Array. Constructor. Init.py. .py means constructor. Program. It is a program here. If you write init in class, that is a constructor. What is init? Init.py difference is there. Okay. Init.py is a inbuilt module which is created automatically whenever you create a package. Whenever you create a package, the package get created with what? Init.py. So that is to identify your package as a your folder as a package. Your folder as a package. And how you access that module? With what name? Package name. How you access that module with what name? Package name, right? Package name. Yes. Init.py. Init. That is a constructor. Default constructor. Okay. No problem. Right? So that is what will happen. I said no, like whenever you create a package. So later we'll see that what is init.py. Now let me tell you how to create a project. Okay. I'll explain that. Init.py. Already you learn in your regular classes. If not, I'll explain. Don't worry. I'll explain. So 1 minute. So create a project here. Just here. Open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, right? and just go to the terminal. You can create from the command prompt also. You can create from command prompt also. Don't think that you have to create here only, because terminal is equivalent to what? Command prompt only. Terminal is equivalent to which one? Command prompt only. Terminal is equivalent to command prompt only. Okay. Okay, right? Now here, where you want to create a project, just open that folder. Open that folder here. Okay. Open that folder by writing CD. Okay, right? Now CD, the folder where you want to create the project. Okay. And then write Django admin. Django admin, start project, project name. What is my project is? Project 1. Created project, right? So inside the project, CD, project 1. Open the project. How you open the project folder? CD, project folder, and then Python, manage.py, manage.py, start application, application 1. Any name you can give. Project name is your wish, application name is your wish. Because you are creating a project, you can give your own project name, you can give your own application name. What is my application name is? Application 1. So created a project and created what? Application within the project. Clear? What do you say, yes or no? Okay. You have to practice once. If you practice once, everything becomes easy. Open this file. Open. Open what? Folder. Because project is a folder or not? Yes. Now open the project. Open the project. Now project is open. Project is what? Open. And in this, you have a project folder and one more is what? Application folder. Okay. Now again open the terminal here. Okay, terminal. And you want to test whether your server is running or not. Okay, then how you test it? By saying Python manage.py run server. Python manage.py run server. Run the server. Now you can see your server is running. See, starting which server? Development server. This is development server or production server. Development server. It is used only for development. It is used only for what? Development. And your server is running on which IP address? 127.0.0.1. And what is the port number is? 8000. Okay. Now just open the browser and here you can type what you can type http slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon what is that 8000. Now you can see the install worked successfully. Configuration. Now your server is ready. Your server is what? Ready, ready. Your server is ready now. Okay, now if you get this screen, it means your server is running successfully. Understood? Huh? So open the browser and you have to verify it. Is it your server is running or not? How? By typing URL 127.0.0.1. Otherwise, click on this. Click on this. Click the link. If you click the link, then directly, what happened? Open in the browser. See here. The installation worked successfully. Congratulations. Okay, right? Yes. Okay, na? So how to run the server? By using what is the command? Python manage.py run server. Python manage.py run server. This is how to run server, how to run the server, web server. So for that, in the terminal, just to type Python manage.py run server. You can run each project in different port numbers, but this project is running on which port number? A triple zero, right? Yes. If you want to stop the server, press Control C. Press Control C, that will stop the server. Press Control C, that will stop the server. That will stop the server if you press Control C. Python manage.py run the server. Your server is running it. Yes? Right. I just stop the server. I'll execute again. Okay, na? Right. Then open which folder? Application folder and inside views.py. What is a view is function array class. View is a function array class, right? Now, which one you are using now? Function. Write a function. What is the name of this is? Def. Def is for writing function. This is your first view or not? Yes. What is the name of the view is? Welcome. What is the name of the view is? Welcome. Welcome is a view name. And then it required one argument. What is the name of the argument is? Request. Now, can you say this is one parameter or argument or not? Yes. Parameters are what? Local variable. Where local variables are not? Yes. Can I give any other name in the place of request? Or can I give any other name in the place of request? Yes, I can give any name because parameters are local variables and variable is an identifier or not? Yes. And identifiers are predefined names or user defined? User defined. In the place of request, you can give any name. In the place of request, you can give any name. Now, this view should generate some output or not? Yes. How can I generate an output? By using output is in which format? HTTP. Then I required an object to generate what? A response. I required an object to generate a response. I am using django.http. From Django is what? Package. And Django is what? Package. In that HTTP is what? HTTP is what? Module. HTTP is a module, and inside that there is one data type. There is one class. What is the name of the class is? HTTP response. What is the name of this? HTTP response. You are generating a response by using what? HTTP response. And response is nothing but output or not? Yes. In web, always you generate output. In which format? HTML format. Now I'm create HTML is a text. Is it HTML is a text or not? Yes. Now I'm creating output. There is one variable called what? Output. Output is a variable where I'm saying HTML. But generally you don't write HTML code in what? View. Where you write the HTML code in which file? HTML file. HTML code you write in Python program, huh? No. You write the HTML code in which file? HTML file. For your understanding, I'm combining. Which code I'm combining? HTML code in which program? Python program. HTML code I'm combining in which program? Python program. For your understanding, HTML and write the body, define whatever you know it, right? Okay. So then I'll say some H2, welcome to what? Django classes. Django classes, H2, and then close the body and close what? HTML. And return. What should I return? Response. I'm saying response equal to HTTP response. This HTTP response contain what? Output. You are wrapping this output into which object? HTTP response object, and then return. What do you return? Response. So welcome. Is it taking any input? No. It's just generating which one? Output. What is output is it this is a one page or not? Yes. This is one page. Which page? HTML page. This is one HTML page. It is generating output in one HTML. And what is the message is? Welcome to Django classes. Then after developing a view, okay, is it clear this one? Bolo here. Okay. So a view always generate output in which format? HTTP. And you are generating the output by using which object? HTTP response object. Right? Okay. Then after creating a view, then how this view is called from the browser? How this view is called from the browser? Using a public URL or not? Yes. Then you have to define URL. Then open where urls.py in project folder. Open the project folder. Where is project? Project folder urls.py. urls.py. In urls.py, it should give a name to whom? View. Okay, using this name, you are calling what? View. This is called as a public name or it is a public URL, right? So from where is your view? Where is your view? Or where is view is written in views.py? Where is views.py in application one? Import it. Application one dot views. What is the name of the view? Welcome. To this view, I should give one name or not? Yes. But how you are giving a name using path? You are giving a public name using what? Path, routing, accessing. Okay. So path. Give the name. What name you want to give? Suppose I want to give a name as what? Hello. What is hello? URL. It means if client want to call which view? Welcome. Is calling with what name? Hello. What is a view name? Welcome. What is a URL? Hello. You are mapping hello with what? Welcome. It means whenever I want to call which one? Welcome. How I am calling welcome using hello. Can I give same name? Can I give same name? Yes, I can give same name. But your wish, whichever name you want to give, you can give it. Now mapping, URL mapping. How you are doing this URL mapping? By using what? Path. So view is mapped with one name. Which view is mapped with the name? Welcome view is mapped with one name. And what is that name is? Hello. Understood? So what is the first step? Develop a view. Very easy. First to write the view. Second, configure. Configure what? URL. Give the public name. That's all. Then next you install the application. Install the application. How you install the application? Go to what? Settings.py. Settings.py and install. What do you install? Application. What is your application is? Application 1. What is the name of the application? Application 1. Application 1 is the name of your application. Understood? Bolo yaar. So until unless you don't install the application, your application is not installed in the server. Okay. You need to you need to configure in what? Settings.py. I want to install this application in the server. Which application you are installing the server? Application 1. Okay. Now, after installing the application, run the server. Python manage.py. Run what? Server. Okay, very good. Then what? Open the browser. Now tell me. HTTP localhost 127.0.0.1 colon 8000 slash. Tell me what is your view name? What is your view name? Hello na welcome. You access with hello or welcome. Hello. You access with what name? Hello. Hello is which name? Public name. Are you saying hello is not there? Spelling, okay. Very good. So, hello. Print it. You can see what is the output here. Welcome to Django classes. Easy. Understood? But you have to practice. If you practice 4 5 times, then it will become very easy. Who generated this output? Tell me here, who generated this output? I'll tell you flow. Complete flow I'll explain from where to where it will go, how it will generate output, everything I'll tell you. But now try to understand how to write a view, how to configure the view, how to install the application. You can have either one view, you can have either one view, or you can have more than one view, right? Now I'm writing another view. So one application might have any number of view, right? You don't get this, huh? Okay. In Python, if you want to print anything, what function you use? If you want to print anything in Python, what is the function you use? Print. Print, right? Print function you use it. Okay, na? Print will print where? Console, right? Okay. But whenever you talk about web, how you generate the output? In the form of HTTP. In the form of what? HTTP. Then how can I create an HTTP response? I am creating an HTTP response by using one class. What is the name of the class is? HTTP response. I'll tell you what is there in HTTP response, what is there in HTTP request. All this I'll tell you, don't worry. But now try to understand how to write a view, how to configure, and how to do this, right? HTTP response. What response contain? Response means input or output? Output. What response contain? Output. Response contain what? Output. Response is having an output. What is the output is? What is the output is? HTML. What is the output is? HTML. Now created which object? A response object. It is an object. Is it? Are you calling the constructor or not? Yes. And where you are returning this output? Or where you are returning this output to? Browser. Return. Who called this view? Browser. Then it should generate the output to whom? Browser, right? So browser will render this HTML content or not? Yes. Who understand HTML? Browser. So browser execute all these tags and display the output. That process you call it as rendering, right? Right? Then see here again. A view module contain either one view or more than one view. It may contain either one view or more than one view. I am writing another view. This is another view. Okay. This is one more view where, okay, where I want to find, find whose time? Server time. Find server time. What is the name of this is? View. What is the view name is? Find server time. Client want to know time. Whose time? Server time. Okay. Because your application is there in the server or not? Yes. I want to know what is the time and date and time of server. What is the date and time of which one? Server. Because that server might be installed in what? US or UK. Now you want to know what is the date and time is. Okay, right? Say just example I've taken. Then how can I get the current date and time? How to get the current date and time? By using date time. Which module? Date time. Import. What is the name of the data type? Date time. What is the name of the data type? Date time. Date time is a module and date time is what? Array. Date time is a module and date time is what? Class. Date time is module and date time is what? Class. Date time is a module and date time is class. Date time equal to date time dot what is that? Today. Today returns which date? Current date. system date or current date, and this date it should return to whom? Client. Then again you write any variable name, string. Then again you generate. What you are writing? HTML. What you are writing? Body. Any case, no problem. But I'm saying no, you don't write HTML code in the Python. But you separate this HTML code from Python and write in which file? HTML file. Okay. Now here I'm just writing server date. Today means written both a date and time or only date. Date and time. Server date and time is what I have to do? I have to insert value. I have to insert value or not? Yes. How you insert? How you insert? dt. Okay, then which code you are inserting? Or which data you are inserting in HTML? Python data. Means is it this is static or dynamic? Tell me, this is static or dynamic? Dynamic. This is not static. It is what? Dynamic. Whenever date change, your output also get what? Changed. Are you write date here? Or dynamically inserted? Dynamically inserted. Right? Now create a response. Create a response. Response. Any variable name you can give. HTTP response. Wrapping with what? String. And then return. What you return? Response. This flow I'll tell you. Don't think about from where to where it will go and from where to where it will come. I'll just tell you the complete life cycle. What will happen from beginning onwards when client press enter in the browser? What will happen? I'll explain the complete life cycle. Don't worry. Internal things also will see it. Don't worry. Right? What is F? What is F in line number 15? Array. Format. Nagesh, format. Format string. What that is called? Format string. It is called format string. अरे कैसे यार आप लोग format string it is which string it is format string. Now for this view, you need to write a URL or not? Yes, go to urls.py. Import one more view. What is that? Get. Tell me what is the view name? Find server time. Find server time, comma, path. What is the name I'm picking? Find, comma, find server time. This is a view and this is public name. Now, whenever you do changes in the view or URLs or settings, your server get started automatically. Your server get started what? Automatically. Automatically your server get started. Right? Yes. Open the browser again. Now tell me. HTTP slash slash 8000 slash. What is the name of this is? Find. I can see server date and time is. Okay, server date and time is. What is the name of this is? Hello. This is what? First view. And this is what? Second view. Like this, you have to simply practice. Technical terms I'll tell you. Don't worry. But first, you should have a knowledge of how to write what? View. Okay. So view. This is which view? Array. This is which view? Array. These are which views? Function based. Array. These are which views? Function based. Why you are silent? These are function based views. Sir, can you bring both the views at a time? Login sign up you can get at a time. Login sign up you do at a time. One after the other. Yes or no? request, you send two requests. You open two tabs and send it. No problem. You open two tabs and send it. Okay. But here, what is my output is S. What is my output is S. But what is the name of this variable? Output. What is the name of this variable? S. We'll discuss here why production now. Okay. We'll talk about it. First, you try to understand how to write a view and how to configure. Right? Yes. You understood how to write a view and how to configure in urls.py and settings.py. We have done only some certain things. Now I just copy this where viz.py code also I'm copying it. Okay. And notes also there in urls.py path is there. Path. Path followed by which name? Public name. URL. This is called as URL pattern. This is called as what? URL pattern. What is the pattern I'm using to access this view? Hello. What is the pattern I'm using to access this view? Find. What is the pattern I'm using to access this view? Hello. What is the pattern I'm using to access this view? Find. Not over. urls.py is not over. Lot of things are there in urls.py because this is our first application. Yeah, you can change the port number. You want to change the port number, you can change the port number at the time of running the server. You can change the port number at the time of running the server. urls.py, this is urls.py, and in settings.py, only one thing you have to do it. What is that? What changes you have to do? Install apps. What is your application is? Application 1. This one you have to do it. Then after this, run the server. Run the server. Run the server here. Uh, so at the time of executing server, what is the port number? 8080. Run server 8080 means your project is running on which number? Or your project is running on which port number is 8080? It is already there. It is already used. 8081 I'll take. What is the port number is 8081. Now give. What do you write now? HTTP 8000 na? No, 8081 slash hello. Now change the port number or not? Yes. If you have a multiple projects, then you deploy each project with different port number. You install each project with a different port number, not with the same port number. Okay, right. But that is done at the time of executing the server. You can change the port number. So this is running the server on different port. Okay. So, but what is the default port is 8000. Default port is 8000. Okay. So please practice this. Technical terms I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay. First you complete this. Tomorrow I'll tell you technically what is HTTP request, what is HTTP response, what is the request, how the request is sent, how the view will call. All these things technically in detail we'll see tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. Right? So please practice this and tomorrow we'll continue this. Thank you. Right. Yeah, Google Classroom is created and everything is uploaded in Google Classroom. Okay, Google Classroom is created and everything is uploaded in Google Classroom, right? Yeah, you have to ask the admin. Ask the admin. Ask the admin.